I also do want to just address the announcement that Draymond Green is coming back on Thursday. He will be fined, but not suspended. He's coming back Thursday and he'll play Friday. He will not be suspended for any of the regular season, which starts next week. He's going to play against the Nuggets at home in the preseason finale. And honestly, like, this is what the Warriors said they were going to do last Thursday, when the news first came out. And it's clear that their strategy was to kind of let it subside a little bit as much as possible, take as much time as they could, and then to announce that they were just going to do the same thing that they were going to do anyway. And Steve Kerr talked about how a lot of this decision was from not just like the Warriors brass, the coaches, the players, but from the vets. And we'd heard that initially, before the video came out, that the vets didn't want Draymond to miss opening night, ring night, all that stuff. And that this is something that kind of just happens. Again, I'm not going to litigate that. I've talked about how disappointing this whole thing is and how I was happy originally that there was no video, because it would just become a circus. And that's what happened. That's what it did. It's a circus. And you see it now, all the people reacting to the decision, right? Saying that it's hypocritical, or that it's a slap on the wrist, or that all they really care about is winning, or that, whatever. I don't think everything's going to be just perfect all over again. I think that there is some damage there. I think Kerr mentioned that the culture has taken a hit. It'll take a while to repair that. And I 100% think that's a reality. I think Draymond is probably still on thin ice with some of the players in terms of like, just please don't screw something up again, right? Like a couple seasons ago where the Warriors, they lost that game in Charlotte because Draymond, lost it and got kicked out of the game, got a technical, and gave the Hornets like a few final shots. So, if he starts costing them games again, then that will be an issue. But I think it's important. I mean, I've always said it depends on how Poole feels. He doesn't have to talk about it. And I'm sure they're going to try to avoid having him talk about it. I'm sure eventually, like in his first presser, his first media availability, he'll be asked about it. And I'm sure he has a canned response from the PR department about how to move on. And I can't wait to hear that. I guess I'm looking at this more of like how it's going to affect the team. And I think this is an opportunity to kind of just like say, hey, this is us as a team internally. We're going to use this to maybe strengthen our bond and move forward and rely on each other and hold each other accountable on the inside. People are going to continue to call out this decision. And I think that's fair. People can call it out. But I think for the Warriors in general, putting this behind them, if that meant suspending Draymond for 5 games, then great. That is putting it behind them. I don't really care about ring night in that respect. Like if they think Draymond deserves to be there or if he doesn't deserve to be there. I'm concerned about how this affects the young guys, how it affects Poole, how it affects the vets, and how it affects like the trust. Right now, it seems like the first step is to make a decision, which they have, and then start moving forward from that. I'm very curious to see how this goes. We don't know how this affects some of the young guys. We don't know in what regard some of the younger dudes hold Draymond after this. It might just be like they're around him all the time. They might just be like, okay, he crossed the line like crazy, but like it's not out of the realm of what could happen, what happens, right? We've heard a lot of that chatter. So it's tough. I guess I'm impressed that the Warriors like stuck to their guns and did what they said they were going to do a week ago before the video came out. That shows some real like confidence in what you believe in. Do I agree with it? I don't know. I don't know. Like, am I surprised? Like I said, I'm not. Uh, I felt like if they were going to fold to public pressure, then he would have been out like 5 games and missed opening night. Like I said, I do think like not everything is going to be well. This is not just like, okay, let's move on from this and just rack up some wins. Draymond still has to earn some trust back from his teammates. Like he can't just be like, oh, I'm trying to be a better person. He has to actively do it, and he has to show it. And his fire on the court has to be there, but he can't cost them games. He can't cost them wins, stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts on this as time goes, but I'm tired of talking about this stuff. I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that for now. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing Klay Thompson play in the final preseason game and just see some of the real rotations. Like this is when the big boys play, and that's going to be like exciting for me and for all of Warriors fans to see where the Warriors starters are at, where Wiseman fits in, where Kuminga, Moody, etc., where this all falls into place and where we can actually start building for the playoffs. Honestly, that's where it stands. That, I know that, that's an advantage of being a Warriors fan, is that there is a long view you can take.